Hi everyone, so this is update 2 on our project for the church conversion in Barnard Castle. This morning had a meeting with our heritage consultant, planning consultant, the planning officer and the conservation officer from the council. They were dealing with the pre-application that we submitted. So all in all, it was a positive meeting. I think I probably mentioned in our previous video that we had taken a few liberties with things like box dormer basically protrusions from the roof space. They were generally on board though with development of the roof. We're just going to have to keep it simple with conservation roof lights and that kind of thing. We still don't know what's up there. We've got a bat survey coming in next week. So hopefully he's going to take some pictures while we're up there and we can see if there's any nice trusses that we can retain, make something quite funky up there. So all in all, I don't know what you remember from this project, but we've got this massive horseshoe balcony all the way around. There we go. So all in all, they were on board with what we wanted to do. The only issue is they want to keep the pillars. We've got to do a bit of exploratory work behind the sort of modern panelling just to see what's behind there. But we don't have to retain it. We can document it and then quite possibly remove it. The problem we do have though is we've got to keep these pillars, which of course buggers up our initial floor plan. But they are on board with allowing the conversion. You know, they understand it. The building needs to be retained. They were quite flexible. We just need to rework the plans really and see if we can use them as, I don't know, maybe a pillar on a breakfast bar or something like that really. Even the conservation officer, I'll just spin round and show you these windows. So he's even come up with some ideas and said, well, why don't we just split it sort of down the middle there, which would mean at the moment we've got, which way are we? So stairs on that side. He's even allowing us to take out the probably original stairs there and possibly flip them onto that side. That side, as you can see out the window, has less of an outlook, so it kind of works for circulation space better. So we're probably going to do away with the central hallway. Basically, it'll make some nicer flats downstairs. We'll have a bit of circulation space up there. We're going to eat out, so slight changes to the internals, but not a great deal really. So yeah. Pretty positive, even allowing the development of the roof space, so we should get 5 units still, which is ideal. Anything you learned, Simon?
Well, I was just going to say, it couldn't really have gone a lot better. I think we turned up waiting to hear what they weren't going to allow us to do. In actual fact, they've been pretty forward-thinking, said, you know, they're keen to have something done with the building. Yes, they did want to keep this gallery space, but they understand that actually, without doing something different, unless we were going to develop it into another church, we can't use this space in this shape for much else, so that they're open to suggestions about how we're going to do it. Upstairs, I've said, is a blank canvas. We can pretty much do as we wish. And again, they're happy with us going up again into the roof space without the box dormers, albeit, which we kind of expected anyhow. But yeah, I think it was a really positive meeting, and you know, we've come away from it feeling pretty excited.
So a few other pointers. Just from speaking with the heritage consultant we're employing, we just need to do a schedule of condition, just basically outlining what the defects with the current building are and how we're going to improve on it, how we're going to sort of rectify. We've got some cracks here and there. Some of the stonework has eroded, some of the pointing needs doing, just general old building stuff really. What else do we need to do? So with it being a listed building, we do need to try and get permission up front for any kind of works we're doing to the fabric. So for example, Simon said while we're outside, could we put a few more lantern lights up either side of the door? It'll look great. But we need to document that and ask for it on the permissions, basically.
Everything that we're going to ask for needs to be on the drawings.
Yeah.
Because if it's not on the drawings in the first place, then you do it, then it hasn't been approved, and
exactly.
You could have a problem, sort of thing. But I think the next thing that they've told us to do as well is is to break it a little bit and pull a little bit of it away
Yeah.
and start and look and see what we can find behind some of this panelling and stuff. So yeah, that's going to be the next phase, I guess, is to start and get somebody in to start and have a little exploratory mission to see what's actually behind this panelling, because obviously that isn't original. It looks like it's been put there probably in the 1970s or something like that.
So what we hope is we're not going to find anything. It's just been basically stuck up to replace what was there originally that's probably perished over time and that kind of thing. I imagine what we're going to find though is this is just cladded on. So there will be something original underneath, but the conservation officer for the council, he was on board with removal, as long as we keep, I guess,
photographic records.
Yeah, photographic records of everything, and then also obviously these columns, which we tried to argue that could we use them for maybe the landing, the stairwells, that kind of stuff, but he was adamant he wanted the original U shape to remain. So this might not be the original staircase, but it is pretty old. But the planners were generally on board with, the conservation officer was on board with us removing it. He understands that there has to be some disruption, some destructive work in order to enable a new layout. He was on board with us, basically taking this out, documenting it again, and putting something modern in. So just walking around the first floor now, the conservation officer has basically said, everything's kind of been stolen from somewhere else. So these were probably in the Sunday school next door. Who knows how old they are, whether they're from that school at all. We're waiting for the bat survey to see what's in the roof. As you can see, these are non-original as well. Some kind of... So this is how they've kind of enclosed the gallery. So it's just poorly done.
Paper mache.
Paper mache, yeah. But the conservation officer has basically said, do what you want up here. So, job's a good one. I mean, again, newer additions, to the building. So this probably would have had some kind of sort of tiered seating arrangement originally, but it's just been floorboards put on. We did try and ask if we could have dormers to this side, because basically you can't see it from anywhere. But they're adamant it's it's domesticating what would have been a church structure.
The church would have never had them, so there's no way that they want to add them at this point.
I did push it, but they're not having it.
We're not having it.
But we can get something up there, so it's fine.
So we've got a couple of plaques in place here, which obviously have been here since 1893. That one, there's one on the other side there from 1840, 1892 and stuff. We asked whether or not they had to remain in situ, and they said as long as we keep them within the building, because they're specific to the building and not to the town. If we keep them in the building, we can move them, put them somewhere else, and that won't be a problem. Yeah.
Again, so we just need to document where they were and then how we're going to use them. So I think my idea would be to have them going up the stairwell, so you can still have a bit of the sort of history of the building. We've kept them, we've used them in the existing development again, or the new development, sorry. What else have we got? So we've got, I better not do that. We've got large timber windows at the moment. The next door building was part of this originally. It was a Sunday school. They've kind of integrated these slim light double glazing units. So they look like single glaze but are double glazed now. So on discussions with the heritage consultant and the conservation officer, they've kind of said, well, it's probably going to be expensive to use them for these, just with the amount of panes we've got. So they've even sort of said, we'll just do secondary glazing, which is a bonus to us as well. And things like this panel in here is non-original, although we'll probably integrate something like that just to make it look shit hot on the insides when we do it. I think that's about it for here, really.
There was a little bit about the wall outside.
Yeah, we'll go outside. Right, so out in the streets, the heritage consultant brought along a plan from, I think it was about, was it 1940 or 1840?
No, 1840.
1840, yeah. And it showed that this was actually squared off. So we need to try and get some bin storage out here, because this is pretty, well, it is our only external space. So we need to get some kind of bin stores and whatever. So we were worried that maybe we couldn't remove these planters, but the heritage consultant said, well, it's not on the original plan, so we got no issues there.
When she referred to them as lumps, I thought, we're going to be able to move them.
Yeah, so we'll probably prettify this and put some iron railings back in. So there you go. They're just, yeah, I mean, they've probably reused the stone and just turned it round and stuff, so we could maybe reuse them. But it'd be quite useful to put some kind of bin storage in there. So, I mean, this is the stuff we need to kind of document on the listing building, because we're going to be improving this kind of area of stonework. Obviously, the timber windows are shot, so we'd be hopefully allowed to replace those. I don't know if you can see right at the top there, but there's just, yeah, pointing and stuff, yeah, gaps here and there, so a little bit of work there. I mean, this is a modern light, but because it's part of the building, we've got to get permission to remove it, so we'll replace that with something more traditional. And then, yeah, things like this we'll maybe replace with some extra lighting, and obviously that can be reused, painted up with something on the holiday use. What else have we got then? So again, stonework needs replacing. Yeah, all in all, very positive. Yes, that's about it really on this one. We've just got to revise the plans up and get them to the heritage consultant, and then put them to the planner, to the conservation officer, and they'll basically agree if we're able to go into planning from there.
But altogether positive, I would say.
5 units. So original plan, which is good. It's a shame it's not ready now, because the rental or holiday market has gone absolutely nuts. So, I mean, we've been basing these on, what did we say, 125?
120 a night for the two.
Yeah, I mean, by the time we've done it, and if the market keeps going the way it is, we might even be knocking £200 a night for stuff here. So kind of working in our favour at the minute. So yeah, job's a good one. Right,
Cheers.
See ya.